What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my review of the Fission Volt by MVP. This is a new release from MVP. It's a new plastic type from them. I've tested it a little bit now. I wanted to get a quick review out there before I offload this disc, because it's not going to be going in my bag. The Fission plastic from MVP is basically their take on the bubble plastic, the Innova Blizzard plastic type concept that many manufacturers have now duplicated ever since Innova put out the Blizzard plastic and realized that it doesn't really makes for some really interesting and good flying discs. Most of the major manufacturers have basically ripped that off now and come out with their own version of the Blizzard plastic. I guess you can consider this more like Starlight plastic because it's not the clear Champion-ish plastic like the Proton, but it's actually Neutron that has a little bit of bubbles embedded in the plastic that therefore lighten up the disc. The difference between this and the other companies is, of course, MVP's Overmold technology. From what I understand, and I could be wrong on this, if I am, let me know and maybe I'll update the video. Pretty positive, though, that the Overmold does not have bubbles in it. So it's just as dense as it would be on any other normal Volt. This one's 154, by the way. But the inner Neutron plastic does have the bubbles, which allows this to be a really lightweight disc. You're not going to find a regular Neutron Volt in the 150s. The two that I throw and carry, that are some of my favorite drivers, are both in the mid 160s, so 166, 167 or so. Those are pretty light. These are pretty lightweight for Volts. They're also, in my opinion, the best, pretty much the best flying Volts out there out of the ones that I've tested. Right around the 166, 167 range, they fly so nice. So let's take a look at this guy first of all before we go into the flights. You can kind of see there's a little bit of texture there that's reminiscent of Blizzard plastic and stuff. It's not super grippy, but it's not bad either. It's got a pretty good feel to it overall. I think it feels fine. I would say the regular Neutron probably grips better for me, just a little bit. But it's not really all that far off. You might actually prefer the feel of this plastic better if you got it in your hands. Now, it's difficult to explain to you guys. It's maybe a little bit more like matte finish. You can kind of see that. It's a little bit not quite as like shiny and glossy as, say, this guy right here. This one obviously is well loved, well used, so it's a little bit different than this guy that's only been field tested and used on I think one round or so. But yeah, it's got like a little bit of a matte finish to it, but it feels good. No real problems there. I like the way it looks. I like the Fission stamp. Looks cool. All that's good. Yeah, not much else to show you on the disc. I'm not really going to go into the Volt in general, just because I have a pretty thorough review on my favorite type of Neutron Volts out there. It's been out there for a while, so I just want to really show you guys the disc, give you a feel for what the plastic differences might be, and let's talk about the flight. So, I kind of am pretty underwhelmed by this particular disc. I'm not really that impressed by the flights I'm getting out of it. I actually think that both of my regular Neutrons in the 166 range, like we talked about, fresh out of the box, were straighter flying and have more glide than this Fission at 154 grams. You would think it would have more glide. I was kind of hoping it would be like kind of like a flippy, a little bit flippier, really super glidey kind of tailwind type Volt, or just something that you could really finesse a long flight out of it. And that's not the case with this disc at all. From my testing, it actually fades really hard for a Volt. Honestly, fades much harder than I would want a Volt to. I like to throw the Volt for a straight shot with like a gentle fade, with that kind of nice MVP like forward pushing fade. This thing does not have that. It falls out left strong as soon as it starts slowing down. Honestly, really surprised by how stable this thing is. Again, pretty disappointed by the stability of it as well. I was hoping it was going to be like a really nice straight line, super glidey kind of distance disc for me, and it really doesn't work out that way at all. I have a couple theories about this. I'm not sure why they're so stable, even though they're lightweight and they're the same mold as my other ones. We know from other bubble type plastics that it doesn't mean that it's going to be understable because it's lightweight. Like a Blizzard Destroyer can still be real stable. Not quite as stable as like a Star or something like that. But I've thrown a couple of Blizzard Destroyers that were still plenty stable and finished strong left. They weren't flippy at all. So I'm not really sure what makes this one fade so strong, but I'm thinking it's because of the difference in the weight between the inner plastic and the outer plastic is even more pronounced in this disc. The difference in that density. So maybe that kind of causes it to hook up a little bit earlier than it may have with just a regular weighted disc. I'm really not sure. The bottom line is I'm not really happy with the Fission Volt. I'm not really going to keep this one. I'm about to trade it off pretty much right now. I'm sure it'll go because everybody's interested in checking these out. With good reason. MVP makes great stuff, and I'm always interested in checking out their new molds. I picked this guy up pretty much immediately. It came down between this and a Plasma Volt. I'm actually a little bit disappointed I went with this and not the Plasma. I feel like I probably would have enjoyed that one more. But whatever. It was interesting to test it out, and I'm glad I can make a quick video for you guys to let you know what I thought of it. Although 6.5 minutes, not all that quick. But I appreciate the support of my channel as always. I appreciate your view. Let me know if you have a Fission Volt and you disagree. You find it to be really nice, straight flying disc with a lot of glide and stuff. Maybe there's a different. Maybe the ones in the 160s are nicer than the 150s. I don't know. I'm not going to spend the money to find out. I'm way too broke right now to do that, but it would be cool and interesting to know that. If you guys, have tested some in some different weight ranges, let me know what you think of them, and thanks for watching. Cheers.